Unmuted. All right, am I unmuted? Here we go. All right, so here's our agenda I just went through with you. For those of you that just joined, I don't know about you, but that computer issue had me a little unfocused. So I'm gonna do a little chiming in. Let me get a little presentation view. Some of you saw this last time. And if you've heard your child talk about chiming in, this is what they were using, this little chime that you see on the screen. Now they don't lay down on the floor like you see right here. Everybody doesn't drop to the floor every time I ring the chime. But what they were doing in that picture in that particular class is they were practicing their belly breathing, and they were laying down so they could actually see their belly go in and out. All right, and the teacher rings a chime and everybody closes their eyes and takes a deep breath. So you're going to be able to hear it on your screen. I have it in my hand, just like you see on the screen. All right, and if you will just take a deep breath in, let it out slowly. And we tell the kids we're getting our brains ready to learn. All right, and that's what we call chiming in, and that's getting our brains ready and focused. We call that a mindful moment here. Thank you for joining me with that. All right, now Miss Alvarez is joining us this morning. Thank you. She's letting me share her computer, and she has some information about, she just wants to, first of all, start out with a thank you.
Hi, everyone. I just want to say thank you so much for all of you who helped us with our Color Run fundraiser. We only do 2 fundraisers a year. And the first one is a color run. And if you know me personally, you know I hate to ask for money and I hate to sell things. So we always try to think of something where it can be like a community, like a fun event. And so at the end of the year, when we ask our students, like, what was your favorite kindergarten or pre-K memory? A lot of times they will say the color run. So I just want to say thank you for all of your support in this event. And if you're able to join us, also wanted to remind you that we are going to have a Title I meeting. If you weren't able to join us last time, we will have one more. It's actually today at 6:30 p.m. And I will share out that link before the meeting so that you're able to join us in a Zoom similar to this one. Thank you.
All right, so that is a lot of fun, the color run. If you have it, if you haven't made plans, all right, this would be a good, you can see at the bottom where this is the one day that maybe, it's really hard for some of you, I know, to take off work, to get to every single child school event, especially if you have several kids. And so this would be the one of my choices because it's a really fun event. And I'll just tell you this, at the end of the year, I always ask the kindergartners, what was your favorite thing that we did? And this is like hands down the thing they name the most. So this year you actually get to participate in it with your child. So it looks like the weather is, I mean, we've had some awesome weather so far in October, and the weather will be good. It's a little bit later this year, so the air will be a little crisp. It won't be so hot and humid. So this is going to be a really fun time. If you can join us, please join us on this day. All right, so our new nurse, Miss Gaulette, has a lot to say this month. All right, so look at what she said. First of all, if you didn't hear your child mention it, this vision and hearing screening is going on right now. A letter was sent home. She started testing yesterday. And if your child doesn't know the letters that she's asking them to point out, she makes accommodations. And if your child needs to be screened, she sends home a letter that you can bring to the physician. So be looking for that. If your child doesn't need to be rescreened, you won't receive any physician note. And then she's still missing immunizations. If you get a note home, remember it's a 30-day limit before those are due. All right, they cannot attend school after those 30 days if they don't have their immunizations. And then just another note about that fever-free for 24 hours, parents. If they don't, I want them here each and every day. I want to see their faces each and every day. But if they are sick, keep them at home. All right, let them rest, before returning to school. If they have a fever in the afternoon, then don't send them the next day because your temperature rises throughout the day. So they'll have fever again by the time they go home the next day. They're fighting some kind of little bug. All right, so we thank, oh, and Miss Golette would like to thank all of those that sent clothing donations. Her little clothing supply was getting low and she got some more donations and she really appreciated that. All right, and then I just kept this slide from last time. This is Miss Owsley. She's our new PEMS person, and she's that person when you have a question about parent portal, when you have a question about attendance, when you have when you want to schedule an appointment for Miss Alvarez. All right, there's her email address. This is the person you need to go to with those questions. All right, and then of course, Mr. Rivera, we all love Mr. Rivera. He is the person that you see when you walk in the front door. He's the voice you hear when you call us on the phone. He's got all that information for you. But if you're like me, my questions that I'm thinking about are like on a Sunday night and we're closed, right? But remember, Miss Alvarez has made this wonderful one-stop shop. I'm going to click on it for a minute. Isn't this awesome? Now it pulled up my part, but look, there she is. And then when we scroll down, all right, I'm going to try to scroll down here and kind of scroll over. Let's see. There we go. You can just see, I'm just showing you a little brief. Look at all the different tabs she has for all kinds of information about hours, meals, attendance. Everything is right here. So, you know, this is 24/7. You've got all this information right here that you can access immediately. All right. So, but of course, if you don't find it on there, you can always ask Mr. Rivera. All right. Now, here we go. I'm going to tell you about my big topic today. What do you do when your child won't listen? All right. Now, first of all, let me say this is a common problem. So if this problem is speaking to you this morning, you're not a bad parent. You know, I've been in this business a long time. I don't even want to say how many years anymore. I don't want anyone to do the math. But I can't even begin to count how many times I hear this. You know, it happens. Our kids get in these little stages where they just won't listen, and you find yourself repeating yourself over and over and over. All right, so maybe you are using the wrong roadmap. And you go, what? All right, so remember, what worked with you as a child is not effective today. Just like you might not take the same route to go visit your grandma anymore because the roads have changed. And guess what? Our kids have changed. And the things they're exposed to are changed. And the way that we do things have changed. And so the way you approach getting them to listen and getting them to, follow directions at home is going to be a little bit different. So the phone call I get sounds like this. Miss Jeannie, I've taken away everything. And he or she just doesn't seem to care. I don't know what else to take away. This is what I hear. I don't know what else to take away. And you know what my answer is? Nothing. You've taken away everything. So there's nothing else. Miss Alvarez is laughing at me here. There's nothing else to take away. But clearly, this isn't working for you, is it? All right. So your child isn't responding to these negative consequences, even though maybe when you were a child, you did. I know I did. But let's turn it around. So we're going to have to do a little U-turn here. All right. And turn it around. And let's start giving them the chance to earn some things back. If you take away everything and nothing changes with behavior, the only person being punished is you. Because you're sitting there listening to the whining and the crying. They're sitting there staring at the four walls. Now you're staring at the four walls. And you're really the one that's suffering the most in the situation. So how about if we give them a chance to earn some things back? So now let me preface, before I say this next thing, let me just say that in these next few slides, the tips I'm going to give you, these are for common developmentally appropriate childhood behavior issues, such as not sharing or refusing to pick up toys, or what's some other ones, not eating their dinner, things that we normally see for this age group. But now if you're seeing some more serious behaviors like hurting people or damaging property or things like that, then we need more intensive intervention. So these are not meant for that situation. In that situation, I would suggest you start with the pediatrician. All right. And that pediatrician can make some referrals for you. Let's use the example of the iPad. I know I hate technology being shoved in front of our kids as much as the next person, but sometimes we do use it as a reward. I know that. So if you've taken it away for the rest of their life, you feel like, you can start saying, well, you know what? If you could do X, Y, Z for me this morning, then you could earn 30 minutes of iPad time. And of course, when the 30 minutes are up, they're going to be like, I wasn't finished. I want it back. Blah, blah. And so, well, you know, if you go finish cleaning your room, you might get another 30 minutes back. So you see, we all work for that carrot on the stick, don't we? So you're letting them have a way to start earning things back. So my first big tip for you is, when you start doing this, choose one behavior to improve at a time. All right. Yes, you'd like them to help clean up. You'd like them to get a smiley face at school. You'd like them to sit down and eat their dinner. You'd like, you can't lump all that together. You got to focus on one thing at a time. If you want your child to follow the instruction given the first time, then make that your goal. When I ask you to do this, I want you to do it. All right. So now remember, I'm not talking about bribing our kids. We don't have to go out and buy toys and candy. A reward doesn't have to be a physical reward. If your child loves spending time with you, such as reading bedtime stories with you. So maybe tonight we'll do 2 stories instead of 1. Or our kids love, believe it or not, our kids love to play board games. Those good old-fashioned board games like Candyland and Go Fish. Yes, they still exist. And maybe you'll teach them how to play a card game. Or if you are going to sit on the couch and watch a cartoon, watch a whole episode of Wildcrats. You might learn something too. Have y'all watched Wildcrats? Every time I watch it, I learn something. It's very educational. And remember, if you're going to do this, let's put the cell phones away. We have to do it too, right? No peeking at the cell phone for that whole episode of Wildcrats, okay? Make it quality time. So tip 2, a short time frame for rewards. Everybody, a week is too long. Okay, a week is too long. So if your child has yet to go a single day without non-compliant behavior, don't say, if you can be good all week, we're going to do this on Friday. Because I can guarantee you they're not going to make it because they haven't experienced a whole day yet. Let's start with small successes. So make it daily if needed. And some of my parents are making it like chunks of time. For example, at school, it can be AM and PM. At home, it can be, okay, we're getting ready to go on this long car ride to grandma's house. It's going to be over an hour. If you can be good on the right there, okay, that's one goal set, smiley face, points, stars, whatever you're doing, and then make the ride back a separate one. So if they are good on the way there, make sure you recognize that. If they were not so good, hey, you still got a chance, got the ride back. All right. And then you keep that separate and then make the rewards different, ride there and good, ride there and back. Ooh, then it's the super jackpot. All right. So you have to kind of split things up sometimes, because if you're rewarding, even if you're rewarding what happens at school when they bring their folder home, make sure it's attainable. If they've not gone 5 smiley faces, and don't say we're going to do this on Friday with 5. All right, because if they have a bad day Monday, then where are you at? What are you going to do? How's there going to be redemption here? So make it 3 smiley faces equal this, 4 equal this, 5. Whoa, huge celebration. All right. And then make your expectations clear. That's my 3rd tip. I always ask the kids, well, what do you have to do? And they always say, be good. I'm like, what does be good mean? You mean like apple pie tastes good? No, Miss Jeannie, that's not the kind of good. I'm like, well, what kind of good is it? So be sure they understand exactly what you want, what good looks like. So you can be specific, show them versus tell them. All right. You can even I've even seen people put like picture cues. So example, if you clean room means your shoes and clothes in the closet and your toys in the basket, All right, then make that clear. When your shoes and clothes are in the closet and your toys are in the basket, that's a clean room. Or if they're just picking up toys, when the Legos are in the Lego box and the blocks are in the block box. All right. Remember that you need to provide a space that's easy for them to use to keep things organized. For example, I don't know about you guys, but these games, like puzzle pieces, especially those big jumbo puzzle pieces, I can't get them all back in the box. Once I take them out, I can't get them back in the box. So sometimes you need to rehome these things and these challenging materials, I call them, into something that's more user-friendly. You know, you can buy those cheap little plastic containers, you know, at Walmart or something that they can easily dump all their toys into. And my fourth tip this morning is be prepared to follow through with the reward and the consequence. Notice I underline consequence. All right, so if you're saying you can play with Legos if you pick up your blocks, then you be prepared. If no Legos, then no blocks. And yes, there will be tears. There'll be lots of tears. Put on your earbuds and listen to quiet music. Those first 2 or 3 times, it's gonna be a lot of crying, okay? Especially if you're following through for the first time. All right, so follow through on your consequences. Let them know you mean business. And then my last one is be consistent. You know, our kids thrive on routine and predictability. Even though they fight us on it, they actually thrive on it. It's what makes them feel secure. All right, so if your rule is to pick up toys before bedtime, then it's no exception. All right, pick up your toys. And be sure that you can accept the consequences if you're going to be consistent. I'm going to tell you a little story. When my kids were little, and they were not angels, I can trust me, so I know from which I speak. One Christmas, they were on their worst behavior. And I remember one day clearly saying, if you two do not straighten up, we are not going to grandma's house for Christmas. Hello, we're going to grandma's house for Christmas. Why am I saying that? I just thought about it. It's like, why did I just say that? We're going to grandma's house for Christmas. So, and they knew it. They knew we were going to grandma's house for Christmas. So make sure that you don't just make idle threats. Okay. And if there's something you're promising, be prepared to accept if they don't reach their goal. If you're buying tickets to see a movie, if they reach their goal and they don't see the movie, well, be prepared to give the tickets to your neighbor. Okay. Because you need to be consistent in the rewards and consequences. And then be prepared to celebrate. Like, make a big deal of it. If your child had a great day at school and you've been waiting for it, hello. Praise them, praise them, praise them. You know, if whatever it is, if usually it's a horrible trip when you go to the doctor's office and they do good, praise them. Make them, kids will take any attention. I'm gonna just tell you, negative, positive, just attention. So make them enjoy that feeling of the good intention. Make them feel that feeling of, ooh, I did good, I'm proud. And make them love that feeling and make them want it more. So I didn't go over every possible thing when it comes to helping our kids listen. We could go over this. That would be like a 3-day, seminar. But I did find a helpful link for you to this morning, parents. So it's today's parenting is always a good link. You can click on that later and look through it. I liked it because it was developmentally. So they also have some tips for those of you with toddlers at home and those of you with kids in elementary school. I kept this slide in from last time because it's possible reasons to call and contact me. So just a reminder to you, if you are having any of these issues, or if your family has just suffered a life-changing event, please call me and let me know so we can put that on, or I can put that on my radar and check in on your child. All right, our character strong word for the month of October is responsibility. Isn't that a great word? I've been talking to classes about that this week. So responsibility to take action and understand how our choices affect others, ourselves, in the world. All right, so find ways to kind of use that word around the house. It's your job, it's your responsibility, you're responsible. Make those connections. All right, and then other ways you can reinforce our social emotional learning at home is through books And I know a lot of you like getting my book recommendations. You know, I love children's books. They're lessons for life, right? And these are the October read alouds for your child. The Legend of Spookly the Square Pumpkin. Everybody loves Spookly. He's a square pumpkin. What can I say? But it's a great little book, you know, about accepting differences. It's a great little book about treating others kindly. The Halloweener, they just love, love, love. The little dog, all his friends tease him. And then he gets no candy for Halloween. Oh, when the kids hear that, they just want to cry. No candy. It's just so sad. It's the saddest little page. But then, of course, as you can, you know, as you probably can guess, it has a nice happy ending where everybody works together. And then, of course, this week I'm reading It's Not My Job. And you can see everybody has drawn the line on emptying the trash. So it's a funny little story with a cute ending. It's not my job if you want to follow up at home with that. Now, parents, I'll just share with you. It's hard to read on the slide, but I'm going to click on the link. This is a lovely bucket list. It's one of my favorites. I'm going to scroll down, see if we can see it. Somewhere on here, she has a wonderful, oh, well, I don't want to do that. Join now. I've already joined, but yeah, there it is. So you'll see when you visit that site later, you can print out that bucket list. I liked it because it just had things that are doable that we can really, really do. You know, we love fall here, but we don't have a big fall season, just like some of our states up north. All right. But we can still carve a pumpkin and we can still, you know, go drive out in the country. We still have plenty of fall festivals out here. So save some time for you. Okay. Even if it's just going to sit on your back patio and having that cup of coffee, maybe pumpkin spice coffee. Hey, I love pumpkin spice. That's our tickets for this month. Pumpkin spice, let's be nice. Now, doesn't matter if you like pumpkin spice or not. I love it. But spice rhymes with my favorite word, nice. And we're teaching the kids how to be nice to one another this month. So that's why we have pumpkin spice, let's be nice. All right, so moving right along. I included this slide, Red Ribbon Healthy Choices. Now, Red Ribbon Week has been around forever and ever and ever. Gosh, maybe the 70s. I don't know. It started a long time ago. But every school across the nation celebrates Red Ribbon Week. It started as a, you know, just say no to drugs, don't do drugs. We don't do a whole lot of we don't talk about drugs here at Salina Primary. We focus on healthy choices because if you start learning to make healthy choices now, it's going to be a mindset and a habit, right? And hopefully that's the way we want to raise our kids, to learn to make healthy choices for their body. And that includes exercise and eating right and things like that. So there's also always dress up days during that month. So you see Monday, you're going to see another slide about that in just a minute. We're here. Hopefully you're going to be here, but your kids won't. That's parent conference day. So no dress up that day. The next day is wear hair ties, neckties, bow ties, tie dye. When I saw tie dye, I thought, oh, I'm going to let y'all know this now because you can't really start tie dyeing something the morning of the 26th, right? You got to plan ahead. And then I didn't know the 90s was old school. So I guess I'm ancient history school. I don't know, but it says here dressing clothes from the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, or 90s. All right. So they get to dress up on the Wednesday. And then on Thursday, it's aliens and astronauts and Star Trek and Star Wars. So that's pretty popular right now. And then, of course, friendly, not friendly Halloween costumes on Friday. And by friendly, I don't just mean, you know, sweet, cute costumes, but also like kid friendly, like they can take off and put back on to go to the bathroom, that kind of stuff. All right. So I'm going to turn it over to Ms. Alvarez now. And she has a few things she would like to add.
Awesome. Okay, so can y'all hear me? I hope you can hear me. We will be having a parent committee meeting next week on Wednesday. I'm going to send out after this meeting. I was waiting to have this meeting with you all. I'm going to send it out and I will also include it in the newsletter. So we are a Title I campus. And as part of being a Title I campus, we are required to have a parent committee where we will collaborate and work together, and we want you to be a part of it if you're able to. We will meet for 1 hour at noon, October 13th. We need your help. We need your input. this is your school, this is your community, so we need your input, we want your input to create our parent school compact and also to create our parent involvement policy. And you have a right to be involved in that. We want you to be involved and we'd love to have your input. So if you are free for lunch on October 13th from 12 to 1, it will be in person. It will not be a Zoom, it will be in person. We do have a draft that we're going to start off with, which is our parent school compact from last year and our parent involvement policy from last year. So we don't have to start from nothing. And then we'll look at it and we can edit it, change it, because it's something that we create together as a committee. I also want to make sure that you make yourself available on October 25th. We're going to have our parent teacher conferences on this day. There is no school for students on this day. On this day, students stay home. Teachers will be here at school. They're going to be making a schedule for you and they'll put it out. And that way you can sign up for a time that's convenient for you. During this meeting, this is your opportunity to ask questions if you have questions about things that your student is learning at school. We're really excited about sharing with you all the things, all the growth and all the things your students have been learning so far. We will give you a copy of the report card that day. That will be the only time that you will get a printed report card. After that, every report card is going to be provided to you on the parent portal. It will be available there for you. We're also going to share with you your students' assessment data, any assessments that we've done, district assessments, and then state required assessments. We'll share that data with you there. And then on that day, we should have our parent compact and our parent involvement policy finalized, and we'll be able to share it with parents on that day too. So we hope that you're able to make it that day. The meetings will last about 15 to 20 minutes. They are in person. If you can keep your child at home that day, that would be great, because that way you can really talk with the teacher one-on-one. But if you are not able to if you don't have a babysitter, bring the child. We'd rather you not be there. We'd rather you be there and not miss this important meeting with the teacher.
All right, so our next coffee with the counselor, you got your phone ready? Let's put it in. November the 2nd, 9 a.m. And our topic will be another one of my favorites. I love November because this is what our word of the month. It's what we focus on throughout our campus. It's what our little PBIS tickets say. Gratitude. Gratitude. Yeah. So, actually being grateful is a research-based intervention to help us, help our well-being, help with our self-care. And so I have a lot to say about gratitude from personal experience. All right. So gratitude, look forward to that in November. Mark your calendars. Also mark your calendars for the Zoom meeting tonight. If you didn't make the first one, a lot of people I found through the years, a lot of people are very confused what Title I means. So please join us for that meeting so you can get the scoop on exactly what it does mean. And of course, the ABC fashion show is coming up and Ms. Alvarez has the schedule probably in her s'mores. I think they'll let you know what time your particular class will be doing theirs. And then of course, No School Veterans Day, that's coming right up actually. Our parent compact, she mentioned.
You know what, I'm looking at it and it's not Veterans Day on that day. It is going to be our fair day.
It's fair day. Oh, you know what? I put fair day. I had fair day and I said, no, it's Veterans Day.
And people who are new to the district or this is your first time having your child in school, we don't take the kids on the fair on that day because some parents were asking about that. What does that fair day mean? So that's just a day that we set apart for if you want to go to the state fair, you take your.
If you've never been, it's awesome. I can tell you, it's an awesome.
Sorry about the typo, but it is fair day.
Yeah, you'll see.
There's no school that day for kids.
So please go to the state fair. Have your kids' picture taken with big text that greet you when you enter the fairgrounds. All right. So, and then you see some other things, the parent conference day she mentioned. Now the trunk or treat, that's real important. Trunk or treat. Ms. Turner has got that going. She just extended the time to 7:30. All right. I have here the link you'll be able to click on if you want to contact her. You can just go to the Salina PTA on Facebook, even if you want, and contact her. If you want to get together with a group, if you have a side business, you want to sponsor a trunk, decorate it up and give out candy, contact her, all right, to reserve your parking space. If you're just a family that wants to do decorated trunk, that's fine. Your whole, get the whole fam, make it a project, that's fine too. And then your kids can come and just get the treats, all right, and go around like trick or treating from trunk to trunk. All right, so it is in the evening. It's in our parking lot in front of the school, and it's a lot of fun. It's another chance for them to dress up and see their friends and for you to meet other parents. So it's a real fun time, and it's short and sweet. All right, so share time questions. I'm going to check my
I've been kind of monitoring the chat on the side as Ms. Juno has been presenting, but this is a great time. If you open up the little chat box on the side there and you have a question, we'd love to hear from you. The fashion show is on September 15th. Yes, it is. Wait, hold on.
So you
Do you have it on the wrong day on the screen on the?
Is it on the wrong day on the screen?
Maybe, let me look. Just to make sure. The fashion show is on. I can't minimize.
I will look.
Thank you for bringing that up. I want to say it's on the 5th.
I have it on the 15th.
Yeah.
On the 15th.
Okay, we might have had it on the 8th on the other thing. It's on the 15th, and so the 15th is the ABC fashion show, and the 22nd is the color run. I know we have a lot of events, and we will have more events as the year continues on. And I'm just going to say to you, don't stress. Just come to as many as you're able to. Come to as many, be as involved as you're able to. I know that a lot of people work. We got to pay bills, and I get that. So if you can't come to everything, it's okay.
All right, so the chat box, if you left your email address, I have that saved. When we do the recording, I'll copy all the email addresses. I will send you a copy of the video if you'd like to see it later. Thank you for being so patient and waiting as I switched computers this morning. I've been going back and forth. We have a new computers in our district, as well as my own personal is new. And so remembering what I've downloaded on each one has it got me running in October. It's not good to change computers 2 in 1 month for me anyway, but I appreciate your patience. All right. I hope you got some good information about helping your child. Remember, you can always call me and ask me if you have got a personal question about something your child's doing. I know you don't want to put it in the chat box, so please reach out to me. There's my email address. Contact me. It's easier to reach me by email. If you want to email me and ask me to call you, I'll be happy to do that too. I know though, but I'm in and out of classroom, so it's real difficult to get me by phone. So it'd be better if I call you. So I appreciate all of you joining in this morning. Hey, please enjoy this beautiful weather right now, right? It doesn't last long enough here in Texas. And go out there, enjoy it with your family. Have a great time. They grow up too quickly. Trust me, I know. And thank you again, parents. Bye.
Bye-bye.